Good morning, everybody. In this semester, the subject I am dealing with is Power System 1 and the subject code is PC502. Now, in today's lesson, my topic of discussion is on the overview of the Power System 1. In this subject, there are so many chapters. Like the first chapter is the basic concept of Power System 1. In this part of the power system, we will get a basic idea on power system. In this chapter, we can learn about the overview of the power system, like what is power system? A power system is an interconnected network with components converting non-electrical energy into the electrical energy continuously. After that, transport the electrical energy from generating station to the load point or consumers. Next part is the generation of electrical power. In this part, we will learn more about the electrical power generation. In our point of view, that means according to the electrical engineer's point of view, all the energy sources are classified into two categories, like electrical energy and other than electrical energy, all the energy sources throughout the world is called the non-electrical energy. So our target is that we always try to convert different types of non-electrical energy into electrical energy. This method is simply called electrical power generation. But according to the law of energy, you all know that the energy neither be generated nor be destroyed. So we just convert any non-electrical energy into electrical energy. So actually the method is the conversion, but in broad point of view, we called the method is power generation. The non-electrical energies are generally two types. Like first one is the conventional energy source and second one is the non-conventional or renewable energy source. Now, what is conventional energy source? When we cannot reuse a source of energy after using it once, we call them non-conventional energy source or non-renewable energy source. They are the most vital source of energy. This includes coal, petroleum, natural gas and nuclear energy. Coal, petroleum and natural gas account for 90% of the energy throughout the world. Now, the non-conventional energy. As the consumption of energy grows, the population depends more and more on fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, natural gas day by day. So, we need to use more and more renewable energy sources. These are the pollution free and hence we can use this more and more. And this type of energy source is the running cost of this energy source is very minimum and no wastage material developed after generation. Different types of non-conventional energy sources are solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, biogas, etc. Solar energy is generally used in large scale throughout the world. Next part is Indian Electricity Rule 1956. Indian electricity rules are also included in this chapter. We will learn this in details. These rules will help us to work smoothly and safely in future for industry and other types of electrical networks. Next chapter is the overhead transmission lines. Overhead transmission line is a system of transmitting the electrical power over a long distance because generally transmission lines are the longest electrical path of the power system. In this method, towers or poles are used to carry the conductor above a certain height in order to avoid the short circuit within the conductors. It is because overhead conductors are naturally the bare conductor or uncovered conductor or without insulated conductor. They, they use air as insulating medium between the conductor and insulator is maintained by the providing the proper spacing between the conductors and by providing the proper height above the ground level. Transmission voltage must be high voltage like 132 kV, 400 kV in our country, but the high voltage may be AC or DC depending upon the field of application. We already discussed that the transmission voltage must be high voltage. Then what are the advantages of high voltage transmission system? We know the power in a power system is almost constant. That means load on a power system for a particular time, we always consider that is the constant. So if we increase the system voltage, then the current will also decrease. So in case of high voltage transmission line, the current is minimum. So due to the minimum current, there are a lot of advantages in high voltage transmission line. That means the power loss of the transmission system, that means I square loss, is minimum. Next point, if we know the losses are inversely proportional to the efficiency. Then in case of high voltage transmission system, losses are minimum, so the efficiency will be maximum. The voltage drop, that means I into Z drop, is also minimum in high voltage transmission system. We can get the better voltage regulation in high voltage transmission system, and also the initial investment cost of high voltage transmission system is very low compared to the low voltage transmission system. But the high voltage transmission system may be the AC system or DC system, that is totally depends upon the area of applications. There are some advantages or disadvantages in AC transmission system as well as DC transmission system, but we can either use AC or DC according to the application area. Now, the overhead line construction. The overhead line construction is based on some components like line support, pole, towers, insulators, wire, etc. Now, what is called line support? Line supports are basically the poles and towers in transmission lines. Generally, for low voltage system, poles are used. Poles are generally used with different materials like wooden pole, steel pole. But nowadays, RCC pole is generally used. RCC means reinforced cement concrete for protection and safety. For high voltage transmission system, generally towers are used. Towers are basically robust and the height of the tower is very high to maintain the clearance between the two conductors and the conductors and grounds. Next one is the wire. Wire is the vital part of the transmission system, which is insulated from the tower body by insulators, because tower is the designed with conducting materials and wire is conducting materials. Now, what are the wire materials? There are different materials may be used in transmission wire like copper, aluminium, ACSR. In case of copper is the best transmission wire, but there are three characteristics of transmission wire. First one, the conductivity of the transmission wire is very good. Next point, the tensile strength of the transmission wire material is very high. Next, the cost of the transmission wire material is minimum. In case of copper, the conductivity of copper is very good. The tensile strength of copper is also very high, but the cost of copper is very high. So copper is not generally used for transmission system. Now, in case of aluminium, we know aluminium is a good conductor. The cost of aluminium is minimum, but tensile strength of the aluminium is very poor. So aluminium is generally not used in transmission system. So generally ACSR, that means aluminium conductor steel reinforced, is used as transmission system. ACSR means there are some reinforcement design in this type of wire, where the steel wire is placed in the middle position and the surrounding area of the steel is covered with the aluminium, where the aluminium is used for conducting material and steel is always provide the tensile strength of the wire. Now, the next part is corona. What is corona? The phenomenon of ionization of surrounding air around the high voltage conductor, due to which luminous glow with hissing sound and vibration is known as the corona effect. The corona effect depends upon some factors like the effect of supply voltage, the condition of supply voltage, the air density factor, the effect of system voltage, the spacing between the two conductors. And the corona is not the good effect, there is the bad effect, because due to corona there are some losses occurs in transmission system, so that is not expected for the consumers and the supplier both. The undesirable effect of the coronas are the glow appear across the conductor, which shows the power loss in the transmission system. Next point, the audio noise occurs due to the corona effect. Next, vibrations are also occurs due to the corona. Next point, the corona effect produce the ozone gas, because of which the conductor become corrosive. Next point, the corona power loss reduce the efficiency of the transmission line. So we not expect the corona effect in transmission system. Now, the insulators. There are different types of insulators used in transmission system, like pin type insulators, suspension type insulators, cycle type insulators. Insulators are generally protect the transmission conductor from the tower body, and insulators are designed with voltage, like the pin type insulators is generally used below the 33 kV, but the best application area is the 11 kV. Beyond 33 kV, we generally used the suspension type insulator or string insulators. The next part is the cable. Power from generating station to the transmission system are transmitted through the cable, or sometimes cables are used to power distribution system. These cables are available in single core, twin core, 3 core, 4 core, can be grouped according to the voltage for which they are operated. Next chapter is the performance of transmission line. We already know that the transmission line is the longest path of the power system, and which is starting from the generating station to the distribution station. There are three main types of overhead transmission lines, like short transmission line, medium transmission line, long transmission line. These lines are consist of three basic parameters like resistors, inductance and capacitance. The performance of transmission line can be determined by the efficiency and the voltage regulation. And the last part of this subject is the tariff. From this chapter, we will be able to know the price of per unit electricity and the business aspect of the electricity. Tariff means the cost of per unit electricity. Different types of tariffs are available according to the area, like flat rate tariff, block rate tariff, 2-part tariff, 3-part tariff, etc.